feel this moment. Olivia, have we figured out percussion thing yet? For sure?
We know the top.
Okay.
So you know and you don't want to tell me? Is that what you said? Yeah. Yeah. Feel this one? Do you not have it?
She plays cymbals, dude.
Just do your best.
Here we go. Ready? Dot, dot. 1, 2. Not too fast. 2. Ready? Two. 1, 2, 3. be on camera. Smile.
Good morning. Welcome to Kingsford High School Auditorium for today's Veterans Day celebration. We are streaming today's celebration throughout the district and into classrooms. Please stand and remain standing for the presentation of colors by Kingsford American Legion and Sons of American Legion Chapter Clash, Post 363 Color Guard. This will be followed by the singing of our national anthem by the Kingsford High School Vocal Department, which will be followed by the Pledge of Allegiance. And the Pledge of Allegiance will be led by President and Vice President Leah Garvalia and Zoe Geronimi of the Kingsford High School Student Council.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'd like to introduce you to Mrs. Mary Carlson, Kingsford Middle School principal, who will officially welcome us to the 2021 Veterans Day celebration.
Good morning, everyone. It is my pleasure to welcome you all here this morning to the annual Veterans Day program. We welcome those who are here in person and those who are watching through live stream. As much as we would love to be able to have everyone in attendance in the gym, we are grateful for being able to be together, even though it's on a smaller scale. For years, Americans called November 11th Armistice Day until it was renamed Veterans Day in 1954. Some holidays don't always fall on the same date. However, Veterans Day is consistently recognized on the 11th of November. This particular date recognizes the Armistice of 11th November 1918, the formal agreement that marked the official end of World War I. On the 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month in 1918, Allied forces and Germany came together to sign the peace treaty. So today on Veterans Day, we honor those who honored our country with its highest form of service. You who once wore the uniform of our Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, or Coast Guard, we owe you our thanks. We owe you our respect, and we owe you our freedom. We come together to express our profound gratitude for the sacrifices and contributions you and your family made on the battlefield, at home, and around the world. We also want to express our appreciation of the example that you continue to set as American citizens well after your service has ended. On behalf of our students and staff at Kingsford Middle School and Kingsford High School, I would like to say thanks to those who have served and continue to serve today. We truly appreciate your service to our country and welcome you here today to celebrate Veterans Day. Thank you.
We'll now have a musical selection by the Kingsford High School Vocal Department under the direction of Mr. Ben Shirk in the singing of A Patriotic Salute.
Hurrah!
Thank you, that was very good. Today's guest, a resident of Briding Township, Mr. Josh Burrell. Mr. Burrell is a 1999 graduate at Manistee High School. From there, he attended Lake Superior State University, where he earned a bachelor's degree in criminal justice. Josh answered the call to service to the U.S. Army in 2005, following in his father and grandfather's footsteps. His call to serve was because of his love of people, all people, and the impacts of September 11th, 2001. Josh was a Special Forces recruit and served in the 82nd Airborne Infantry, stationed out of Fort Bragg, North Carolina. He served 28 months with 2 combat tours in Afghanistan in support of Operation Enduring Freedom. While active, he earned the rank of Staff Sergeant. Currently, Mr. Burrell works as a police officer with the Michigan State Police. His family attends Briding Township schools. And now I give to you my brother-in-law and dear friend, Mr. Josh Burrell.
Morning. My brother-in-law, Dave Lindbeck, my wife, Kristen, is here today. Sorry, I'm kind of emotional. It's a great honor to be here speaking to you young people, everybody here. My wife has 2 older brothers, and Dave is in a tie for her favorite brother out of the 2, so no more jokes, I promise. Good morning, students, staff, and of course, fellow veterans. Thank you, Principal Lindbeck, for the introduction, inviting me here today to share my thoughts on what Veterans Day kind of means to me. Veterans Day means a lot of different things to a lot of different people. Everyone's experience in the military is unique. As Principal Lindbeck alluded to, a lot of people serve, whether you've served 30 days or 30 years, no matter what branch or your specialty, there's one common thread that unites us all together. That's selfless service. So I'm not going to get into my journey. I came in after college. I graduated with my bachelor's from Lake State. I spent a couple years working and in the real world, but I kind of couldn't shake that feeling of wanting to be part of something bigger than myself. I enlisted as a Special Forces recruit. Unfortunately, I broke my foot during SF selection, but I was fortunate because I was already near Fort Bragg, North Carolina, and they just stood up a 4th Brigade combat team, so I spent most of my time as a parachute infantryman in the 1st of the 508th Parachute Infantry, North Carolina. To serve in the military is a labor of love. It is very difficult to put into words my experience in just a few paragraphs, and I certainly do not speak for all of us, but I'll give it a shot. For me personally, 9/11 was like getting hit with a bolt of lightning, as I'm sure it was for some of you here today. I was a sophomore in college, and my father and grandfather had served in the Army. I was ready to quit school and leave that same day. After a long talk with my dad, I was talked off the ledge, so to speak, and graduated college 2 years later. Although my life was moving forward, I could not shake the feeling that I could be doing something bigger, specifically in the military. Back to that thread that binds us. Selfless service is performed without any expectation of result or award for performing it. For those that have served, it certainly isn't for wealth, fame, or recognition. It is about their love for their country, and at its core, protecting our way of life for those we hold dear. For me, it was about a small, tight-knit group of paratroopers who were not only willing to give their lives to protect each other, but also for their country. But what does that mean to give your life for your country? Is it just a cliche repeated on the news or social media today or on Memorial Day? No, it's in fact a real thing. I'm here today to tell you that there are literally millions of veterans, past and present, that are willing to give anything to see the future succeed. The way that I look at it is that my love of country is ultimately my love of its people. people of all different walks of life. If there's one thing I learned in the military and serving, it is that there is no I, there is only us. Whether it is a time of war or peace, the men, women, and women who serve continue to remind me that we are stronger when we are united together. The freedoms we enjoy now, the blanket of security we sleep under, is due to the generations of service of our country's veterans. Before I leave you today, I'd like to read a letter I wrote to the Pioneer Tribune, Manistee newspaper, in April 2007 while I was deployed to southern Afghanistan. So a letter to the editor. Greetings from Afghanistan and a special hello to all my family and friends back in my beautiful hometown of Manistee. I am writing to you on a cold morning in the Gorak Valley, which is located in Kandahar province. The view of the mountains here is nothing short of spectacular, with sunsets rivaling those on Indian Lake on a warm summer night. The weather after the sun goes down reminds me very much of home, with temperatures slipping into the low 30s. Upon waking up in the morning, the scene is surreal, with sleeping bags and ponchos gleaming with those white crystals we all know so well. This is where the familiarity comes to a halt, however, when the below freezing temperatures steadily turn into the upper 90s by mid-afternoon. Weather report aside, the feeling that I am very far from home is constantly presenting itself. Between warnings of suicide bombers careening into our perimeter, F-15s dropping bombs in air support missions, in the absence of my mother's world-famous lasagna, it isn't difficult to remember where I am. That being said, it also isn't difficult to focus on why I am here. That brings me to my primary thought, basically the reason why I'm writing this letter. I want to ask each one of you for something, just for a moment. Set aside your judgments, preconceived notions, and any media-induced conclusions you might have drawn since this conflict, or call it what you want, war, operation. War has a lot of names. In Southwest Asia began, and focused solely on one thing, the people. The men and women to my left and right are our fathers, mothers, brothers. They're our sisters, our sons, and our daughters. They are the people we hold closest to our hearts. I am not asking you to support a particular political agenda or to suggest you adhere to a specific political ideology. All I want, any of us want, is your continued support by keeping us in your thoughts and prayers. This isn't meant to suggest that we haven't been there all along. It's just that oftentimes we lose sight of the basic idea of the correlation between political separated from those we love and even death. Please believe me that when I say you are what drives us. When I am cold, disillusioned, and bleeding, I think of my family who has supported my decision to serve since the beginning. I also think of you, my friends, my neighbors, my community. No matter where life takes me, I will always call one place home. Thank you for taking the time to read. We will all be home soon. So that what seems like a lifetime ago, but I went back and I pulled this newspaper clipping out, and I thought it'd be a good thing to read to you today. Those words, going back and reading them, I couldn't agree with them more, and yeah, it kind of gives me chills just reading it again. So in closing, once again, I'd like to thank my wife, Kristen, and my 3 beautiful kids for their love and support. Without them, I would not be here, and I truly mean that. I wouldn't be here. Thank you again to the Briding Township Schools family for having me here today. Everyone's been very welcoming, and like I said, I'm honored to have this opportunity. I often hear the words privilege and honor with regard to veterans. While those descriptions are certainly warranted, I'm here to tell you that the privilege and honor is all mine in seeing the students here today. You are the future. You are worth protecting with our lives. Thank you.
Thank you, Josh, for those words. Now we'll perform an instrumental performance by our high school band under the direction of Logan Galindo. They will perform Portrait of Freedom. At this time, please stand as we remember and honor those who have made the ultimate sacrifice for our freedom, as our Kingsford High School Instrument Department will play taps. Okay, you may be seated. On behalf of the Brighton Township School District, I want to offer a sincere thank you to Mr. Josh Burrell for your service and words today. I also want to thank Mr. Shirk and Mr. Galindo, Mrs. Carlson, the Carpenter Clash Color Guard, Mr. Unger, Mr. Cohen, Mr. White, our custodial staff, and our food service staff to make this morning's program successful and meaningful for all of us. Last and most important, I want to thank all the veterans that are here today, watching online, and are here in our thoughts. It's because of you and your call to service that continues to give us the freedoms we enjoy every day. It is the veterans' courage and dedication that makes our country what it is today and what it will always be. Not only will we continue to celebrate our veterans, but we must also celebrate those men and women who are currently serving around the world, and many of whom are Kingsford High School graduates. We shall never forget the sacrifices our veterans have made and continue to make, both at home and abroad. I'd like to give a very special recognition to all of our seniors who have answered the call of service and will enlist in the military after high school. Seniors, please stand and be recognized. And at this time, I'd ask for our veterans who are in audience to please stand and be honored. And senior class, please stand and let's thank our veterans who are here today and those who may be watching remotely for all they have done to ensure our continued freedom and our right to live in the greatest country on earth. Veterans, thank you for all you have done for us. We are honored by your presence here this morning. This concludes this morning's Veterans Day program. Let's all please stand as a color guard, exits the auditorium. And a reminder that there will be a social in the cafeteria after we conclude. Thank you. Seniors, you can report to your third hour class.